Book Readings with Miss Bernard. Hello all, and welcome to day 11 of our Black History Month series. Today's story is Sing, Aretha, Sing, Aretha Franklin, Respect, and the Civil Rights Movement. Written by author and wonderful poet Hanif Abdurraqib. Illustrated by Ashley Evans. Oh, Ashley Evans also illustrated another book we read in the past, You Are Not Alone. You can go listen to Miss Bernard read that awesome book once you finish this one. Okay, let's begin today's story. The Queen of Soul first sang gospel in the old Southern churches, and her song shook the walls. She sang in the church, and people spilled out of their pews and into the aisles, and the people would shout, "Sing, Aretha, sing!" and sway in each other's arms. When Aretha sang, the clouds would puff themselves wide and break away from the sun, and the sun would smile down on the faces of the children who stopped their games in the street when Aretha sang. Aretha left her father's church when she was 16 years old to go on tour across the United States with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. She sang while he preached to people about the coming civil rights movement and how all people deserve to be treated as equals. And while she sang and while he preached, Aretha saw people getting a little more free than they were. And when Aretha started making records in the 1950s, she sang to uplift her people first. She sang about love and freedom and survival. One day in 1967, when Aretha was 24, she sat down at a piano in New York and sang a song. R-E-S-P-C-T, sang Aretha. Find out what it means to me, sang Aretha. And out of Aretha's mouth came a soulful sound. And on the streets of New York, people shouted, "Sing, Aretha, sing!" and pumped their fists to the sky. The summer of 1967 grew hot. The sun ran behind the clouds, which puffed out their dark gray cheeks and shook waves of water from their bodies. On the streets below, people marched and raised their voices against war and racism, and buildings and cities caught fire. Waves of joy and singing in the streets were replaced with walls of blue police officers pushing down on the black people who wanted to dance and love where they pleased, and people were standing up for their rights. And Aretha, who once sang for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., said, "I see you, black and fighting for a country to love you." Aretha sang R-E-S-P-C-T and spelled out the word nice and long 2 times so that the people would have something to hang on to. And each letter of the word drifted by. R, and the rustling branches of the trees awoke. E, and the early morning protest swelled. S, and the summer swayed. P, and the puddles of water from the rain were splashed in. E, and the eager church walls shook. C, and the clouds pulled away from the sun. T, and 2 hands linked and then 2 more, and the people could not be moved, and the song became an anthem for the civil rights movement. People sang it on long and hot marches. People sang it with fists and batons crashing down on their bodies. Black people picked their afros high and danced to the song in basements or at parties or when it played out of stereos at night. The song lifted their bodies up and puffed them as wide as the clouds, and it gave them new power when they felt like they hadn't had it for so long. Aretha played Respect in front of people in cities far and wide, and the song told those people, you can take back what is yours. The song echoed in the spirit of everything Aretha learned in the church and in the spirit of everything Aretha learned singing with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. How sometimes the right words and the right sound could open a window and let a small bit of freedom through. And the fight for civil rights didn't end with respect, but now there was a song for the struggle. A song can make the people come together with one voice and sing. And this was another type of freedom, to have joy while a world outside was trying to take it away. Aretha sang about respect, and the world moved. Aretha sang about respect, and the people demanded respect. A song cannot change the world by itself, but it can be the wings that fly from the mouths of the people wanting to change the world. Today, respect is still in the wind, echoing from generation down to generation. And maybe there's a song in you waiting to spill out and make the world a better place to dance in and love in and start a revolution in. The streets are waiting to be met with the rhythm, and the wind is waiting to curve around the words of your anthem. And carried with the wind will be Aretha, always humming, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. The end. Wow, this was a story about how one woman's voice ignited a flame in so many and uplifted the people. We all have power in our tongue, and I want you to always remember to use your voice for good so that you too can be a part of the change in the world we all want to see. All right, this has been another Book Readings with Miss Bernard. Be sure to check back in tomorrow for day 12 of our Black History Month series. I hope you all have a delightful day. Bye-bye.